We are the guinea pig collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Rorschach's General.
Bunch of slap-jawed faggots around here.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And I hope that you are having an awesome Tuesday leading into Christmas time. And if any of you are wondering, okay, well, why did I decide I was doing Transformers the movie 86 towards the end of December? There actually is a reason. It's a legitimate reason. So in the U.S., Transformers the movie first hit sometime around September. I believe it was September 17th, unless my memory is failing me. But there was a later release that was internationally, and that happens in December. Now, I don't know the exact date in December that it actually released internationally, but I knew it was in December, and I knew this was going to be the last live stream of the month because I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to get working on some more videos. There's a whole bunch of intro changes going to be happening because the Guinea Pig Collective, once again, is evolving with everything we were doing. Got to keep it fresh, you know. Even I get bored of the same intro all the time. It's not to say that I don't enjoy some of these intros, but I think changes are inevitable with this stuff. You got to keep it rolling. But yeah, this movie, it meant a lot to me as kids, being a huge Transformer fan. Seeing this movie and the epicness of it. Once again, we're going to get into the kind of stuff too. Sunbow and their screw-ups. That's going to be one of the topics on here because we all know Sunbow makes a lot of fuck-ups when they're doing these cartoon movies. But as far as like everything that was in this movie that actually really pulled Transformers fans in, it really is amazing to me even to this day how abysmally this thing did in the theater. Now, this thing had a budget of somewhere in between $5 to $6 million, and it only pulled in $5,860,601 at the theater. This was an abysmal fail. This thing flopped so hard between this and My Little Pony. It's why Hasbro decided not to do any more live theater movies or you know, live animated movie or animated movies in the theaters. Not only did G.I. Joe wind up going straight to videotape, their fourth project, which was going to be Gem and the Holograms, got absolutely just axed. They said, nope, we can't afford to throw that kind of money into it and then take a huge loss again. So right before we went live, we all sat in the back room. We all watched this movie so we could have it fresh. Some of us, Trina, seeing it for the very first time. So it's going to be very interesting, I'm sure, for some of you to hear the perspective of somebody who's never seen this, never really watched the animated show, so may not have the attachment to some of the characters as some of us that were longtime friends would have. But before we get into that, before I say hello to the panel and everybody is here, we're going to say hi to the chat real guys. Some of you have been extremely patient waiting in the chat. I see Pacific 414 was in early. Mike, thanks for stopping in. He said, who on the stream will declare themselves the new leader of this channel, only be obliterated by a newly reformatted Galvatron. That's right. I would just wish these panelists would last a little longer. It's not fun anymore destroying so simply. Chaos Hoy also in the chat. What's up, Chaos? Having some conversations back and forth while we were watching the movie. I appreciate you stopping in and keeping me company and keeping some of the panelists company because I'm sure they were reading what you were saying. Papa Cotton in the house. Rarely do you have to drink on the thumbnail. Well, I am glad that I can provide that for you, Papa. And it's good that I'm getting the festivities started over there in Papa Land. I got contacted by an Illuminati yesterday. Oh, no. Be careful. Toy Mafia. I see Toy Mafia, of course, is also in the house. What's going on, Toy Mafia? Good to see you. Good to see you. RR also in the house. Transform into Mega Pig. You're damn right. Merry Pigmas to you too, Castaway. And happy, a happy Pigly New Year is the way it should be said. Decepticons, Cave of Comics and Toys. What's going on, Decepticon? I hope that you were doing well. Tommy was in Transformers. No, you son of a bitch. God damn it, Papa. You son of a bitch. I thought I could trust you. You can't trust anybody on YouTube anymore. Super fan Adam Shawhan in the chat and also up on the panel. So let's get into that. Of course, as always, we've got super fan Adam Shawhan hanging out with us. What's going on, Adam?
Man, this was a blast. I haven't really thought about the movie much. I've been watching the cartoon series just because. And when you mentioned this, I was so happy because I've been thinking of the movie a little bit. I remember seeing it in theaters. That was the fun part. So, yeah, man, this was a blast. And for it to be Trina's first time, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Adam.
Thank you for having me.
We also got our good buddy Slasher McSplitter. What's up, Slasher?
Yeah, what's good, man? Thanks for inviting me to. I know I came in late, but I know this movie, pretty well. I'm not a huge Transformers fan, like you know already, but I do love this movie.
I think it's an awesome animated movie. I mean, I think there's so few animated movies that get it right, even with the screw ups that Sunbow has. I think they did a marvelous job with this one.
Was it also all right? You said it was My Little Pony, right? Didn't they also did they do Pound Puppies? Wasn't there a Pound Puppies movie that was a flop around the same time?
Around this time? No.
No.
It was just My Little Pony and then Transformers. They both came out in '86 and both flopped hard. So when they released G.I. Joe in '86 as well, but they went direct to video with that one. They weren't going to make the same mistake again.
The G.I. Joe was '87.
Oh, really? I seen somewhere they had it listed as '86.
I thought it because it had all the '87 release characters, so that's why I figured it was '87.
Okay. Big lives matter. You're damn right they do. And of course, thank you, Trina, for coming in and hanging out, watching this first time, and actually ran the movie in the background for me since a CenturyLink and apparently my browser will not allow me to do it.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm glad this was fun to watch with you guys, and this was. I'm glad I was finally able to see more of the Transformers. I've been meaning to get into the series, and I did a little bit, but and then I just kind of fell off from it. So yeah, watching this movie, I'm glad I was able to do that.
I think this movie absolutely introduces you some of the best elements of the Transformers, and it's a good chance maybe after seeing this you might go back and give it another try.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I definitely I like the Transformers. I didn't stop watching the series because I not for any reason I didn't like it or anything like that. It was just I got busy with other stuff. That was it.
Yeah, I've been very busy watching an older series myself lately. I used to watch it with my mother, watching Barney Miller.
Oh, I love Barney Miller.
Oh, fucking Barney Miller was great. And speaking of that, we got our good buddy Vinny also here with us. Vinny, how you doing?
What's up, guys? This was fun watching it together. I wish the day was a little bit better. I've been having a rough one, but this definitely helped. Looking forward to talking about it for sure. Barney Miller was great. Abe Vigoda. Fantastic name. Everyone knows him as Mo Green in the Godfather movies. He got it in the eye.
They had so many really I think I'm up to maybe episode 11 or 12, and they actually had a few people Christopher Lloyd stopped in on 2 of the episodes. So
Awesome.
like any of those other shows, you wind up getting the big actors stopping in before they were big actors. It's always fun to see.
Hell yeah. That was good. And there's like a legendary speech that was given by Jeffrey Tambor that's all over. It went viral multiple times on the internet. Him going ranting about what's going on in the world and all that, and who controls it, and it fits perfectly to today's world.
It's always nice when they call that kind of stuff out. So before we get into some of the fantastic moments in this movie, and there are a lot, there are tons of fantastic moments in this movie. I want to start off with like the burning question that some of the Transformers fans had. Like, okay, why did so many characters die on screen? And really, you don't see that many. That's the funny thing. You only see a handful of the ones that actually die in this movie. There's a lot more characters that die in this movie than you realize. So we start off with our first group of guys that get killed, and yeah, that was a pretty rough scene. So you get the shuttle attack, where you get Brawn, Prowl, Ironhide, and Ratchet. They all get wasted. Now, I know I have that clip somewhere. Let me see. Is this it? No, that's the wrong clip. God damn it. I hate when this happens. I'm trying to find the right clip here. This has got to be it. Takes them all out.
That was wild. Like, I feel like the deaths in this movie, they didn't really spend much time on them. They did on Optimus, but the other ones they were kind of glossed over.
Yeah, it was like an afterthought. It was crazy.
Well, I think one of the reasons they did it, and I've talked about this a few times as well. So one of the things that people do got to take into consideration is why they made this movie. So it wasn't just because, they wanted to, put a big budget movie out for Transformers. They actually had a plan when they created this movie, and that was the figures? The executives at Hasbro wanted to get rid of what was essentially the 84 line. So the 84 line of figures, they ran from 84 into 85, and they wanted to get rid of them because they had a new line of figures obviously coming out in 86. So they had to get rid of all these characters that they already were putting out. And because of that, here they wind up showing some of the deaths, but they don't show all of them. And of course, the one that upset more people than anything else, than any of the other characters that died, of course, was Optimus Prime. But as we see right there, we got 4 of them already from the 84 line that are taken out.
Yeah.
Well, they've got the easy when the city's under attack and it takes on from night to day. You don't know how many fall. So they could always just say, well, that one fell in the city scene, that we haven't even gotten to.
Oh, we're going to touch on that, Adam. We're going to touch on that. I just want to start off with the first ones getting knocked out. And, of course, like Prowl was actually supposed to be the second in charge originally until Ultra Magnus pops in. And here's the funny thing about Ultra Magnus. Now, Ultra Magnus as a figure was actually released in the Diaclone era of toys before the partnership with Hasbro even happened. Now, why they didn't release it in Transformers sooner, it's anybody's guess. But they wind up releasing them here. Now, they knew they were getting rid of Optimus Prime, and I think that they felt the transition would be easier if they used what was essentially Optimus Prime's other version, which was Ultra Magnus. Because in the Diaclone era of toys, Ultra Magnus is not a separate character. He's just an armored version of Battle Convoy, which is Optimus Prime.
Yep.
That's why it's the same white cab and everything like that. And then he has the additional battle armor that turns him into a super robot.
Well, it makes sense.
But you know, of course, for here they go in a different direction, and you know he's a completely separate character, which I don't have a problem with that. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, why not use everything that Takara had already supplied to stretch the characters out, and you know, it's a little bit less for them to have to worry about creating at the spur of the moment. So
Right.
So I have a question. Since you, Tommy, you know all about Transformers, did why did they do that with Optimus Prime? Like, do you think that if they didn't kill off Optimus Prime, do you think that this movie would have done better in the theaters?
it's a good possibility. I mean, that is actually one of the really big complaints about this movie is that they killed off Prime, and it really upset a whole lot of kids. Like, kids left crying out of the theater because Optimus Prime died. And it doesn't even matter everything else that happened in the movie. I think the biggest problem, and this is what they didn't take into account, and Peter Cullen had talked about it. And you know what? And by the way, congrats to Peter Cullen for getting awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award for his voice acting, especially that of Optimus Prime. But he talked about it. He said, hey, you know, they didn't really understand what they had with Optimus Prime and the amount of attachment that the fans of this series had with that character. They really did underestimate it. And it was nothing more than they just wanted to get rid of that 84 toy line and move new stuff in. Now, if they would have... Now, see, they didn't have the Power Master Optimus Prime because that doesn't come until like 87 or 88. But if they would have had a changeover where Optimus Prime, you know, gets rebuilt and he's bigger and more powerful, it might not have hurt fans as much, and they might have seen a bigger return on their investment for this movie. But who could say for sure? No, nobody can really say for sure. But I mean, yeah, Prime dying definitely did hurt them at the box office, and they've talked about it a lot. And it's why when they wound up going into the third season of the Transformers, they wind up bringing Prime back, and they brought him back pretty quickly because they found out just inserting a brand new leader in as Rodimus Prime wasn't really drawing as much attention, as much fans as they was hoping it was going to. And what up, RR? Yeah, I had conversation with them son of a bitches just yesterday. Yeah, they wanted to sell new figures. They absolutely did. Luffy is God. What's going on, man? Love this movie. We went from people in cartoons not being able to hit each other to them killing Prime. And the way he went out, you got the touch. You damn right.
Yeah.
But, you know, seriously, you don't have to murder most of your lineup in order to introduce new characters. It's just, it could have been done a different way.
These executives are brain dead.
We all knew what it was, though. Like, even like at 11 years old, you knew what it was. It was all about marketing and making, you know, new Transformers to sell because we'd already.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, you didn't have to massacre an entire line of characters. You could have kept those characters, introduced new ones. You know,
Right?
Joe did it all the time.
Well, here's a funny thing. So a few characters make it out at the end from the 84 into 85 line. So you have Cliff Jumper, you have Bumblebee,
Jazz was there too,
Jazz.
right?
Yeah, and you have Jazz. The reason Jazz made it out, and this is pretty funny, you know, Scatman Crothers doing the voice for Jazz, man, freaking awesome. That guy's voice is just incredible. So it's so incredible. I remember him as Hong Kong Phooey too. But the reason they kept him open is because in 86, there wound up being, they did like, you know, like the kind of like crossover partnerships with other companies. They did one with Kellogg's for Cookie Crisp. So there was a Cookie Crisp mail away Jazz figure that was available. So they couldn't kill Jazz off while they had a marketing campaign going, because that would not look good with the partners that they just made in that cereal company. So that's why Jazz doesn't die. Bumblebee, they already had plans to remake him. Cliff Jumper is the only odd one because they didn't have any plans to remake him. So
what did they remake? What did they remake Bumblebee as? Goldbug or something? Like that?
Yeah. But once again, it's so much later on. They did wind up re-releasing Bumblebee also in the G2 version because he started to become a very popular character. And I guess they couldn't make Daniel an orphan, so Spike had to live. So Spike lives, Bumblebee lives as well. What's up, Another Monster? Good to see you, man. What's up, y'all? Relax. I'm here now. Did they have a plan? I question that. No, they had a plan. Their plan was just to kill off the 84 line.
I will say, though, the storyline would have to be modded if Optimus doesn't die. With the leadership, and all of that. I mean, I thought it was funny because we go to Ultra Magnus and, like, he's just a warrior and he's not a leader. Like I said, I commented when we were watching it. It's like, how is that your darkest time? Because you're surrounded by Decepticons, which has happened every freaking week as we watch the cartoon. So, but yeah, I like what you were saying though, how that's what it was original. Because I always thought it was weird how it had a white Optimus Prime, like a ghost, when the thing came out, the figure came out for Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, like I said, part of the Diaclone line, and it was just an upgraded version of their version of what became Optimus Prime, which was called Battle Convoy, and it literally didn't have any other name. It was just the Armored Battle Convoy, I think. Yeah, Magnus is a soldier. Yeah, and he says that to Prime. What's up, Keely? Good to see you, man.
What's up, man?
Yeah, Keely Chow.
Yeah, Castle, you were not wrong. Most of these companies, they don't know the fans, and Hasbro is suffering that right now because they didn't know the fans, and now they're scrambling to figure out what they could do to right the ship. Rodimus was a bit of a whiny bitch. Yeah, he was. And it's kind of funny because the character of Hot Rod is listed as a cavalier, and he's supposed to be kind of gung-ho about everything. I think that scene was done well. They definitely did spend a lot of time for Prime. They didn't just gloss over his death.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I can, Papa. Having Megatron live and get upgraded, but Prime permanently dead was bad taste. Yeah, and a lot of people felt that way. What's up, Time Prophet? Cliff Jumper's actually a guinea pig. Yes, he is. I love Cliff Jumper. That was out of the mini bots, that was my favorite.
Yeah, he's cool.
Cookies where I'll eat it. Yeah, right. Emulator, nice. I got the touch. I got the power. Yeah, it's a very powerful song too. There was a lot of powerful songs, I think, in this movie. Yeah, don't forget the guinea pig. Smash that like button. Absolutely. What's up, Soul Assassin? Good to see you, man. Almost 50 years old and anime Transformers film stands supreme. You're damn right it does. Like I've said over and over again, I think this is the definitive Transformer movie. Like all those live action ones, as far as I'm concerned, are just trash, especially compared to this.
Going back to the soundtrack, Stan Bush, that guy, he did a lot of songs for Van Damme movies. This is the only non-Van Damme movie I could think of that he did songs on the soundtrack for.
Nice.
Van Damme should have done a voice. He could have been.
Yeah, to be all. You can win if you dare.
Oh shit.
Aaron, is that any better, Time Prophet? I know I have a few people that talk about the flashing stuff kind of bothers them a little bit, so I don't mind changing it. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. Yeah, Peter Cullen just got a Lifetime Achievement Award and was absolutely well-deserved. The toy executive, just like other mega corporations, only concerned with selling product to make money. Luckily for us, the creative team that worked on the movie understood the characters. They did, to a degree. We are talking about Sunbow, and Sunbow is famous for fucking shit up. Just there is no other way to say it. They fuck shit up continuously. I noticed a few guys like Rodimus Primal, another big Transformers fan. He talks about it all the time, and because he grew up watching Sunbow cartoons, and I don't know if he really read the comics. I know he has a few of them. I don't know if he was into the comics first, like I was, but between the toys, the comics, and everything, it's always the thing with Rumble and Frenzy. Rumble was black and red, and Frenzy was blue in the toys.
Mm-hmm.
But Sunbow screwed the coloring up, which they did a lot of. And they did in this movie a few times. I pointed it out. We're going to talk about more of that a little bit later, but I want to get through some more of the deaths in here. So we already got Prowl and them just biting the bullet. So the next death scene that we see is this. So you get a few unnamed guys that just perish. And, you know, it's kind of funny because they were killing off the 84 line. They didn't show every single death, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah. It's like the whole cartoon would have been just like a really sad funeral had they done that. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the decisions were so bizarre just because they wanted to sell new toys. You don't have to destroy the entire line.
No. They're just wasting it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's proof of how stupid executives are.
I think
the kids are home playing with their dead Transformer toys while they have new ones, you know?
Mm-hmm.
For real. Like, I feel like that's really disrespectful to the fans.
Yeah.
Well, I know there was a lot of people when they seen this scene, they hardly ever talked about it, and it bothered me a little bit because there was a few characters that I had both of these toys when I was younger, and one of them was the second or third, which was Windcharger, and he was like a little red Firebird. But a lot of people they seen this and they didn't think much of it. Just lying dead. And they get a few seconds of a scene, which is a lot more than some of the other guys got. Some of the other guys didn't even get any time whatsoever. There's so many of these characters, they perish, and they perish either off screen or there's pretty much they have to be dead before the movie.
All right, remember the Dick Tracy movie? The opening scene of the Dick Tracy movie where there's all those villains and they all get whacked within like a matter of 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the same. It was like they had all this marketing they had everything marketed for Dick Tracy: T-shirts, trading cards, toys, video games, all that shit. And I especially remember the trading cards. They had trading cards for every single one of the villains, and you didn't even get to see most of the villains on these trading cards because they all got whacked in the opening scene.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, it's such a bizarre set of choices because was this? So you said this movie was originally released before Christmas?
Yes.
Okay, so a bunch of parents probably bought their kids Optimus toys and a bunch of the characters that perished in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in '86, they were already they were kind of like getting underway with the new line. So this movie in the U.S. just released in September 17th, I believe it is.
All right. Yeah,
the international release was in December.
Okay. Yeah, I can just understand why it really does make sense why the movie bombed, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine that though? But I mean, there was still been 85 toys sitting on the shelves. I mean, we all know that as toy collectors. You're going to see sometimes toys. If you're lucky, you might see ones that have been sitting there for a couple years. I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, what the hell is this still doing on the shelf? This is from 2 or 3 years ago. I'm why? It should be gone by now. Mm-hmm. But we see it all the time. So you imagine that kid that's getting Optimus Prime, but he's dead. Yeah. Every time he looks at his toy,
Yep. And mean older siblings would be like, yeah, guess what? He's dead now.
Luffy, he went out like a boss. No, he did. Thought you were made of sterner stuff. Welcome to the company's dumbass choices.
Mm-hmm.
An epic battle between Megatron and Prime. It was too.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did him justice. His fight was one of the longest, most drawn out fights in the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
They had to play with their dead hero.
I mean, really.
He went out like a Homeric hero.
So so were you getting the Marvel comics? Were you picking up the Marvel comics, Tommy?
Yes, I was. I used to have the entire collection at one time before it got stolen by an ex-wife.
Were they murdering characters left and right in the comics the way they were in the G.I. Joe comics?
Well, here's the funny thing about Transformers early on. Technically, they got killed, but early on in the comics, they never really died. Like there was one. It was like number 3, where they had Gears and Spider-Man in the black outfit team up, and Gears takes this tremendous drop because Spider-Man can't hold him with his web line, and Gears drops like a tremendous distance, and by the time he hits the ground, he's just in parts everywhere. So the Autobots grabbed him, and they were like, he would be missed, and then like Spider-Man's like, why are they so uncaring? And they're to explain to him, well, what you consider death is not exactly the same for us. We can be rebuilt. And it wasn't until much later on that they introduced the spark of life in Transformers. And once the spark goes out, that's when a Transformer is officially dead and it cannot come back. But early on, yeah, they were just machines that, if they had a hard drive copy of Optimus, they could just reboot Optimus into a brand new body. That's what they did early on in the Marvel comics. Trina, this movie was solely to traumatize kids. No, don't say this.
Sure was.
I wonder if the unpopular kids had to have the dead Transformers because they were cheaper. Oh, no.
Oh.
They were waiting on the Goldbot
finally
movie.
got his crown. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. Go ahead.
They were waiting on the Goldbot movie.
Oh my God, what a cluster that one was. Yeah, Starscream finally got his spot, and then it was gone. This is bad comedy. DC killed the Flash. He stayed dead until 2000.
Crisis on Infinite Earth, where they also killed Supergirl.
Yeah.
But we've already talked about it. The most impactful death in this movie.
No, seriously, I saw this movie for the first time as an adult, and I was sad. I was like, no! And I already knew he was going to die. I already knew it, but I was like, it was just sad to see. I don't know. It was just sad to see him on the table all helpless like that.
Oh, yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah, dude. The way the lights go out in his eyes and he turns gray, like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That and, was it Prowl? It's the first one that you see like that. It's like that giant close-up as the lights go out.
Yeah, you see his eyes go red and then all that smoke.
Yeah, I mean, they had plenty of traumatic moments for these kids.
Well, I remember a lot of people were talking about Brawn because Brawn is the first one that gets taken out on the bridge of that ship.
Yeah.
And most people, like, he got hit in the shoulder. Why is it a big deal? Well, most people miss the angle. Like, when he hits the ground, you could see that's shot.
That's where his penis is.
Well, the shot went through the shoulder, but it comes right out the center of his back. So it just blows everything out in the middle of him.
Yeah, it's rough.
And I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure Megatron was firing an AR-15 round at Brawn. The dangers of an AR-15 round are evident in this movie. Do not grieve. I will soon be one with the Matrix. What's up, Montoni? Good to see you, man. Was Optimus Prime flapping the Scarlet Witch as well? Oh, Jesus.
The Matrix was one with him, though.
Yeah, they part of the Matrix. How did they bring him back in the cartoon?
Yeah. Well, they had to bring him back.
Yeah, bad decision to kill him off.
Yeah, people stupid.
80s films made kids into the no shit giving adults they are today. That's right. We watched all our heroes die.
This is true.
For real.
Yeah. Trina was even talking about that voice
Yeah.
of Orson Welles.
Oh my God, that voice. That was, wow. That was so good.
Yep. It fit.
God
And then
damn
in the
it, Tony.
cartoon series, they actually revisit his floating head.
Yep. The ghost
I
of
was going
Starscream.
to mention that. I don't know if Orson Welles did that bit.
No, he didn't. He was gone by then.
Yeah.
Thought he was Pat. Yeah.
I remember they took one of his eyes, I think, for Metroplex.
Yes. Yep.
It was pretty cool. They had a couple of really good storylines. There was a crazy virus that was turning all the Autobots, they were all red and evil, and it was literally a virus. And I think that's the episode where they brought back Optimus.
Yeah, I think didn't they say they were working on that thing in China?
Yep.
Yeah, it escaped a certain death.
Luffy is God. I was 6 and I stood up and saluted Prime. That day I became a man.
Good man.
You ain't wrong, RR. Hot Rod fucked up.
Yeah.
You just had to stay away. That's all you had to do. That's Prime's fight. I like Cup was another one. I liked his character.
Cup was fantastic in this movie. I forgot how good he was. As a kid, he was one of my favorites.
Yeah, he was awesome. Now, that is one other thing to note about this one. So this is the first time. So even though they already had figures set up for the 86 line, Cup, Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime, Galvatron, Cyclonus, Scourge, Wheelie, and Wreck-Gar are not created as toys until after they do the animation. So the early animation sketches are what they base what the toys are going to look like. And that's a first for Transformers, because everything else, the comics, the cartoons and everything, they were all based off the toys, because the toys come out first. This is the first time that the artwork actually influences how the toys are going to look. And I think that's one of the reasons why a few of them look so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot better than some of the previous lines. Like, Hot Rod, it's not a far stretch between the toy and what you see in the movie.
Yeah. It was pretty smart on that end.
Wheelie is the only one that really kind of gets me. Like I don't know what they were thinking when they made that G1 and Wheelie, because he barely resembles the damn cartoon at all. I don't know if it was just an afterthought. Maybe. Or they just couldn't figure out what to do with them.
It's very possible.
So, I mean, we have a few other deaths in here. Of course, you have everything with the Decepticons as they throw them out of Astro Chain after the battle is over, and they get reformatted. And I want to say something about this, and I know there's a lot of people that go on to this discussion about this stuff. Nobody has a problem saying Thundercracker becomes Scourge. Absolutely nobody. Everybody has a hard time dealing with the fact that Skywarp is not Cyclonus. Because the way they do it in the animation, they show Galvatron getting created first. And it's pretty clear cut who it is. That's the wrong one. Damn it. Did it again.
Behold, Galvatron. And these should be your minions.
So you get that, and then you get this one, and it's pretty clear cut who Scourge is.
Scourge, the tracker. And his huntsman, the sweeps.
So they literally, there's a pause between him and his huntsman, the sweeps. So you see him change first, and that's Thundercracker. But then everybody has a problem with saying that Bombshell is Cyclonus. But if you look at the animation, I've heard stories that they screwed up in the animation, which we know Sunbow is quite capable of. We will be getting into that as well. But check this out.
Cyclonus, the warrior, and his armada.
So everybody follows the Cyclonus that was a Bombshell. He leads. How the animation is done, regardless of what they said they intended, Bombshell is Cyclonus. There's no two ways around it. Now, the funny thing is as they get through the movie, you never see that second Cyclonus again, ever. He's just gone. So I think if it was a screw up and they didn't mean to do that, what they probably should have did is they probably should have fused Skywarp and Bombshell, because the character Cyclonus is supposed to be fairly intelligent. Skywarp is an idiot. You don't believe me? Go look at the damn original figure stats. Skywarp is an idiot. It says so right in his bio. He is not that smart. But you do have to be careful with some of the numbers, because they've actually, I'm talking about this too, they screwed up the numbers on all three bios for the Jets. So Starscream is the highest ranked out of the Jets, and he's also the fastest. It says so right in the bio. Well, that bio is sitting on Skywarp's card. The dumbest one is sitting on Thundercracker's card. And the one that should be Thundercracker is sitting on Starscream's card. So they're supposed to flop down. So Starscream's supposed to go to Thundercracker. Thundercracker's supposed to go to Skywarp. And the Skywarp is supposed to go to Starscream. I don't know how they screwed the numbers up that bad, because if you read the bio, you could figure it out pretty easily. But, you know, the idea that everybody says a Cyclonus is 100% Skywarp is lunacy, because Cyclonus is not an idiot. He's immensely loyal, and that is one trait that is a carryover from Skywarp, but the intelligence factor of Bombshell, and that's why I say if you want to say who Cyclonus could best exemplify, it would be a merger of both Bombshell and Skywarp. So now he's got the intelligence of Bombshell, but he's got the loyalty of Skywarp. To me, that makes the most sense when you're looking at this. Anybody? Any thoughts on that?
Never thought about it, to be honest.
Orson Welles did the Carlsberg advert in Britain. Orson Welles did a whole bunch of stuff. This, unfortunately, was his last performance.
It was?
Yeah.
Yeah, he died before it came out. I was reading that.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. Pretty sad to see him go. So I want to talk before we get off these death scenes. I've showed all the death scenes that I could possibly show that they actually show in the movie. But I want to talk about characters that died before the movie and ones that we see on screen that we know died in the movie. So there's this one scene right here. They show a few more guys, and it's the only time you ever see them, because this is right before the Decepticons attack Autobot City.
A little to the left.
So in that quick scene, I know it's fast. I'll play it one more time.
A little to the left.
You see the three guys walking?
Can you play it again?
Yeah.
A little to the left.
So you see an orange guy, you see a guy with silver and black, and then you see another one that's green. It's actually Hound, it's Huffer, and it's Blue Streak. After that scene, the Decepticons attack, and you never see them again. So they could be presumed dead at the attack of Autobot City. Never really. You see Hound one other time when Optimus Prime lands in the shuttle. You see Hound standing at the foot of the ramp. But after that, you never see Hound again, ever. He's just gone. So there was something odd about that scene, and this is right. It's part of the characters you see that don't belong there. You see Shockwave fly into that scene. Did anybody notice that?
No.
You can't miss him because he's got the one gun arm. He flies into the scene. He's still on Cybertron.
Editing, bad editing.
This is typical Sunbow fuck ups.
Yeah. Which is dumb because, like, really, when you're putting out a fucking theater release, you really got to clean up your horrible editing.
But Sunbow just made so many of them, and they did it all throughout the series too.
Yeah, they did the same on G.I. Joe. Scenes of G.I. Joe where a character's on screen and for a split second they disappear and then reappear. It's like, Jesus Christ.
I love when doors are supposed to shut, but the people are still standing there with the doors shut.
Yeah.
Or they'll have a parachute that opens up, but the sky sees through the damn parachute because there's a hole in the center of it.
Yeah. Bullet casings from a laser gun.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, just you gotta clean up your mess when you're putting shit out.
But back then, think about it. Like, it wasn't going to be released for a while on VHS or DVD back then, you know. So they didn't really worry about
they didn't care about a rewind button. And stuff like that.
What's going on, Bad Take Bochin? I hope that you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Godzillionaire also in the house. What's up, man? Don't you see Huffer's grave on the cemetery ship? Yes, you do. On that barge, the funeral barge, they do show Huffer. And it's one of those deaths you don't see, but you know it. Didn't we see Hound's dead body? No, they never show Hound's body. They show Wheeljack and they show Windcharger when RC is moving Windcharger. You do see Hound when Prime lands, but it's the last time you see Hound. So, you know, you can pretty much say that he's dead. One of the other deaths in there that you see, it's ever so slow in this. Now, I did slow this clip down ever so slightly. So there's two characters you see in the background. One of them is Perceptor, which we know survives. But right next to him is another character. He, we can presume, dies in the battle for Autobot City. So the one in the background is Grapple, another one of the 85 bots. So, I mean, they're bots they don't even show here. They don't even show on the ground at all. And some of them I'm going to wind up saying after I get through some of this that some of them died before the battle. It's the only thing that makes sense. But there was something else about that short clip, and I'm kind of wondering if anybody caught it. This is before Prime lands. So I want to touch on who Prime has with him when he lands, and I'm going to play that clip again and see if anybody catches it.
Dinobots, destroy Devastator. Me, Grimlock, love challenge.
So you see Grimlock, you see Slug, you see Sludge, or I'm sorry, Slag. He was still Slag back then. You see Sludge and you see Swoop. Now take another look at the clip that I played with Perceptor and Grapple. Look at the legs of the bot running in front of the screen at the end of it. Did anybody catch that?
No.
No.
No?
No.
That was the legs of Swoop.
Oh.
It's pretty easy to tell because if you look at the knees, you see his little pterodon feet. Here, I'll play it one more time. You'll probably spot it. Catch it that time?
So they just didn't, you know, they were like, attention. What's attention?
I know they're showing him on the ground during the battle before Prime even shows up, or how they only show 4 Dinobots. Oh, I am so glad you brought that up, Godzillionaire. So we can already presume Snarl is dead, right? Because he's not on board with Prime and the other Dinobots. But, my friend, guess what? Guess what? Yes, we have another Sunbow fuck up. Take a look at this.
That red spot.
Did you see who it was pointing to?
The red. Yeah.
The red arrow. It's pointing to Snarl. So there's legit two short, very short scenes where you see Snarl, but he's not in any other part of the movie. He wasn't supposed to be drawn in there because he's already presumed to be dead before this battle even happens. But Sunbow, like they always do, they fuck shit up and they put a character in there that was dead. Is it going slow for anybody else? I don't know. What's that? The eclipse, Trina?
There was one clip back. It was back a while.
That was purposely slow, and I did that on purpose.
Okay, all right then. Okay, good. I was just wondering if it was just like I was having trouble with my internet or something.
Now, here, I'll show it again. I'll show that clip again. I know that clip was pretty quick. And believe it or not, that clip is immensely slowed down too, because in regular time, that clip is over in like a second and a half, if even. Like it's a blink and you miss it. And then there's one other short scene where you see Snarl, but he's already dead. He's not there. If he was, he would have attacked with the other Dinobots and attacked Devastator. A couple of the other Transformers that we could talk about that are dead before the movie is Jetfire, because there's no way that they're going to have the Seekers attacking and Jetfire's not up in the air fighting back against them. So Jetfire could pretty much be assumed dead before the movie. Gears, dead before the movie. We never see him at any point during the movie. We can also pretty much speculate that Mirage, Sideswipe are both dead before the movie, along with Trailbreaker. Inferno, Red Alert, Hoist, Grapple we see in the scene, so he dies at Autobot City. Some of these guys might have died in the attack of Autobot City when Devastator breaks out the defenses, and Megatron screams the defenses are broken, let the slaughter begin. We can assume that some of them get killed there. You also have the other mini-bots. You got Beachcomber, you got Sea Spray, you got Power Glide, you got Warpath, you got Cosmos. All dead. Jump Starters, who never made an appearance, they could be assumed to be dead as well. And another one, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people forget about, you never see him. And if there was a big attack, he would have been fighting back, was Omega Supreme. It could be assumed that he dies before this movie as well, or else they would have had a scene with him. Would anybody say that I'm wrong on that?
I mean, the only other thought I would have is that some of them are on Cybertron and they just didn't get around to, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you just, pretty much everybody that they've replaced, is like, they got wiped out in one of these three places.
Yeah, it is quick. Yeah, well, here's the thing. What I did is I did my homework for this stream. So, I mean, obviously, rewatching this movie again with all of you, and especially with Trina getting a chance to watch it for the first time, I think it was important to refresh the memory and look over things. But what I also did a few weeks back is I watched the entire third season. Actually, I watched the third and the very shortened fourth season with the Headmasters, which was like 3 or 4 episodes, whatever the hell it was, maybe 5 tops. I watched all those, and I looked for any figures that were part of the 85 line. They never show up.
Wow.
So after this movie and you get into season 3, none of these characters are alive anymore. They were all dead. Well, at that time, Prophet, and I changed a lot of the background music on some of it. Yeah, Sunbow, they screwed a lot of shit up over and over again. And one of the most famous ones is Rumble and Frenzy. They screwed their colors up and they swapped their colors because in the toys it's complete opposite. Rumble is red and black and Frenzy is blue. Dial never imagined that a cybernetic enhanced guinea pig would carefully go over each frame so meticulously. Yeah, Sunbow, yeah, no. Yeah. Superion and Defensor were absent, but they were alive in season 2. Yes. So Defensor, he does show up, I think, in season 3. And I can't remember if Superion did. I want to say he had one episode he showed up in, but I can't recall now. Were they absent in season 3? Maybe they both were. I know the Combaticons were gone. More cocaine. They laced the Energon cubes with cocaine. Chaos Soy wants to know, did you like the movie?
I think I don't really know if I liked it very much. I didn't hate it. I like Optimus Prime. I don't know a lot about Transformers, so I wasn't attached to the franchise when I watched the movie, so it wasn't. I didn't really have anything invested in the movie. As far as like just an action movie, like say you don't know anything about Transformers and stuff, it's the movie is fine on its own. I didn't like the way they did Optimus Prime's death, though. I felt like for such a big character, I don't feel like it was respected enough.
Do you think they should have saved Optimus's death for later on in the movie?
Like a shocker at the end?
Or even like, a little bit, a little bit closer to the end. You think they should have did that?
Yeah, or make them feel like or make it feel like his death had more weight. It just kind of felt like they were moving on and just continue fighting. You know what I mean? I don't know, because like I compare it to the death of Superman, and that had a lot of weight to it, and with mourn and stuff, and I just feel like it was a bigger deal, and I kind of see parallels between Optimus Prime and Superman, and I feel like to kill off a character like Optimus, that he deserved a little bit, I don't know, more.
And Trini needed some horror bots to get more attached. They do have Dracula and Frankenstein as crossovers. Yeah, Prime returns as zombie transformer. Yeah, and then he eventually gets completely revived. I hear what you're saying, Trina, but all the same, though, I don't mind the death of Optimus Prime because of this.
Yeah.
He comes in like a total boss, and he clears the entire field.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but see, that's the one thing too. Like he came in kicking ass, and then like, poof, he's dead. Like, I think they should have saved his death a little bit further into the movie, but I don't know. That's just me.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the reason there was a reason too, because they were doing this brand new toy line. They really wanted to try to get people attached to Hot Rod and Rodimus Prime. And can you really do that if Optimus is still there?
Yeah, I guess. And also, Trina, going back to the death of Superman, everybody knew that they were not going to keep Superman dead in the comics. Everybody.
Right.
Even everyone who bought the comics knew they weren't going to keep him dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see. I mean, after you played that clip, Tommy, I do see what you're saying, and that was a good comeback, like, for him. So that was well done. I feel like the death scene itself, though, I don't know. I just feel like there should have been more to it.
I guess they didn't want to stretch it out. Well, look at it this way. Some of those guys had to have known what that was going to do. The kids watching this. So you're saying you want to torture little kids by drag out his dying death scene. Like, I hate those little snot-nosed bastards. Let's drag out the death of Optimus Prime for like a good 15 minutes. I don't know. That should make those little son of a bitches cry in their popcorn buckets thoroughly enough.
No, that's actually a good point. That is a good point.
Like, because fuck them kids, we want our money.
Hey, basically turned the tide of battle single-handedly. You're damn right. And Cup even says it at the end when he knocks freaking Megatron down.
The suits were like, they're gonna cry their way to Toys R Us. I'd have to get all the new figures.
It's when the parents buy the ones we just killed. The kids will be like,
Trina's like, I want those little son of a bitches crying all the way to Wave 4 in 87.
They're at the board meeting. It's like, the kids are gonna love these new characters, and boom, we're gonna kill all of them too.
Prime went out like an absolute Chad. Now, RR says, I thought the death scene was done well. Just sucked he had to die. I'll admit it. I teared up as a kid. I know some people that are
I teared up as an adult.
Yeah.
It was like I felt the same way as like when Apollo died in Rocky IV. I was like, no. It's like Mickey dying. Ah, man.
Yeah. All right, have a good one, Papa. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out. I hope you had a couple good drinks.
Night, Papa.
Yeah, Prime landed, said Megatron must be stopped no matter the cost, and he meant it.
Yep. Except he should have just pulled the damn trigger. Fuck the talking.
Yeah, and freaking Cup, holy shit, man. Talk about it. Like, yeah, kill him, Prime, do it now. He's the old grizzled Transformer. Tell those freaking young Autobot punks to get off my lawn. Trina's right. Delaying his death scene until later in the movie would have been more impactful, not dragging out the fight, but delaying it until like halfway through the movie.
I'm sorry. I just heard some music and I had to look over my shoulder and make sure someone wasn't coming to kill me.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was actually Slasher's call. Another monster. That was Slasher. Slasher said that they should have put his death later in the movie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking of it as an adult, and like, I'm thinking like, yeah, it should be more impactful. But then Tommy's like, reminding me that this was for kids. So yeah. Like, you got to handle it differently.
I was 11 when I first saw this when it was in theaters.
Yeah.
And Trina's saying that she wanted you to suffer more, Adam.
I know, for fuck's sake, woman, haven't I suffered enough?
And like a 5-minute cry over Optimus. Not good enough, sucker. You're going to cry for 25 minutes as he dies ever so slowly. Every light going out.
I was more upset that Megatron died and became Galvatron. Though, I was a Megatron fan. I was like, "What the?" Seeing Starscream get his comeuppance was great, though.
Yeah, that was the one death I forgot to freaking record. The death of Starscream. Megatron, is that you? Here's a hint. It's so long, Tucker. Starscream just got turned into dust.
No, Megatron is dead. I am Galvatron.
I love that part where it's just his crown. He gets turned to dust and just his crown is left there.
Yeah, another monster. Yep. There was a lot of kids that just couldn't take it. And there was a lot of mothers that were complaining to Hasbro about it. And that's why they wound up bringing him back. And that's why when they wound up doing like the Headmasters and Power Masters, that's why they made that Power Master Optimus Prime. Like, look, we got to bring him back. They're hounding us.
Yo, we pissed off the house moms.
Yeah. You know what? And I don't think anybody can argue that, right? I mean, I didn't watch it, but I heard about it.
Neither did I.
I heard there was a lot of pissed off people the way they freaking killed E-Man off. See, I knew what it was going to be, and I just refused to waste my time watching that shit. And matter of fact, I'd seen somebody pose that question on Twitter the other day. And they were talking about, oh, well, what do you think? Do you think that this is going to be a bad idea? I think it's a bad idea even freaking talking about this shit. You know what? Indifference is going to kill this kind of garbage faster than talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Would have handled Optimus being put in the trash compactor? Oh, no. Well, they almost send him into the sun. The voice actors added a lot to the film. You're damn right they did.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
like I talked about Peter Cullen when he read the script. He started to tear up. He got choked up over it when he read the scene where Optimus is going to be dead in the first 20-25 minutes of the film.
Oh yeah, that's a paycheck that's gone.
Well, it wasn't even that. I mean, it was all the time invested, Vinny. Look, Vinny's coming in here swinging like Trina. Trina, I don't know if you caught that, Vinny. Trina said that the Optimus Prime's death scene should have been stretched out at least 15 minutes to make this little bastard's cry work. She's the type of person that steals suckers out of kids' mouths and cuts holes in their freaking bags as they're walking away with their Halloween.
It's not a child-safe sucker time.
But she's not wrong. I mean, they could have showed his wires being pulled out and everything.
They could have pulled him apart like the fucking Scarecrow in Wizard of Oz. You know?
Yeah.
Well, they did
Ultra
that to
Magnus.
Magnus.
Yeah.
Blew him into pieces.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what would have did it for you, Trina? Would it have been like his head on a pike?
No, no.
Megatron holding it.
Megatron sodomizing him to death.
It's okay, he'll get something. I'm just
With his big black blaster.
She's like, you bundle of sticks still crying in your 40s and 50s.
I broke them.
I know, I'm just
We went
thinking
to a dark place.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right. Well, they didn't make Rodimus a self-doubting beta cuck simp, always lamenting on Prime's death. They might have been able to move on past Prime. Yeah, maybe. There you go. That's what Trina's talking about, Godzillionaire. Megatron drinking Energon out of Prime's skull.
Mm. Holy shit.
Jesus.
And then Megatron pisses gasoline all over the rest of his fucking body parts.
Oh, shit.
I'm thinking maybe a little funeral or something.
I think that would have made parents pretty mad, right?
Yeah, maybe. Knowing's half the battle, and extreme violence is the other half.
So, we're moving into the Sunbow fuck ups, and I already started a few, Vinny. I don't know how much you caught what we were talking about. I'm just kind of curious, since you're pretty good at recognizing some of these Transformers, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious if you catch this. Nobody else caught it until I told them who it was. You're going to see a couple Transformers in the background fighting. One is Perceptor, obviously, and the other one is actually Grapple, who's in the background, which, they killed off the 84 and 85 line. But somebody runs across the front of the screen at the end. Let me know if you know whose legs it belong to.
Okay. Does he have a blue top?
He's in this scene right here.
Dinobots, destroy Devastator. Me, Grimlock, love challenge.
Yeah, Swoop. I thought it was Swoop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody else caught that at first. I remember catching that, and there was also a scene we know Snarl is dead. There's two very, very short scenes in the movie where it's only like a second and a half. You see Snarl. Even though you don't see him at any other point in the movie, there's like Sunbow fuck-ups,
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, I thought he looked familiar.
Into a murder hornet? Oh, Jesus.
Listen, they had to fill in, you need some extra crowd in there, So it's like, what do we have on hand? Oh, we got these legs we could throw in there. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, right. Vinny is bringing the cold bottom line. Him and Trina are just like completely like they're turning this into a horror story.
I guess we're Decepticons.
I would have liked to have seen them take Ironhide apart piece by piece in front of Prime before they killed him slowly.
No, that's such heroic theatrics. I mean, that's that was perfect. I mean, you just destroyed him right there. It's like a horror movie.
Now, I can't remember if this scene has got a screw up in it or not, but there is this scene right here. So after the reforming of Galvatron and Cyclonus, Scourge, and the sweeps, we know that there's only supposed to be 5 bots, right? That's not a question.
Right.
So it's the 3 Insecticons they throw out, Thundercracker, Skywarp, and Megatron.
Yeah.
So you take the 5 by themselves because obviously, Megs is formatting the Galvatron all by himself, and then you got the other 5. Yet there's this scene right here.
Did he say? Yeah, he said that it's his armada that's with him.
Yeah, but did you see how many were there?
Yeah. So tell me your theory because it's
well,
too many
they show 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So my theory is Bombshell and Skywarp were technically merged together into Cyclonus. That's the way it should go down. Now, the animation shows Bombshell becoming Cyclonus because he's the one that takes the lead. So on the toy, Cyclonus has got a higher intelligence than Skywarp because Skywarp is supposed to be a dummy, and it says so right in his biostats that he's not too smart. Right. So I'm thinking that they're supposed to be merged together. Now, the rest of the Insecticons, I think, are the original Insecticons. Even though we see Insecticons later on in the movie, I think those Insecticons were the clones. I think only the original ones can make copies of themselves. Okay. I'm thinking that the 2 that are sweeps are making copies, and that's why you wind up getting more sweeps.
That's possible. It makes sense. I wish they would have explained it in the movie.
Yeah, they glossed over so much. Well, I mean, this movie is actually pretty quick. I mean, this is like an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, it did feel like they cut out some stuff.
Vinny's eyes for details on par with the guinea pigs.
Yeah, considering you only see out of one of them right now.
Don't worry, kids. Prime is dead, but we turned him into a functional toaster. Jesus. Are you writing for Trina now? Optimal toasting. Oh, no. Toasters in disguise. Right next to Mr. Coffee. Oh, yeah, Sunbow. Fucking Sunbow. Jesus, they screw up so much shit. I've seen so much shit that they screwed up in the regular cartoon. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
They just needed more fodder sweeps to shoot down. Here's another thought I had for some of the extra sweeps. Now, they don't show it, but we never see Reflector again. Now, Reflector was technically a mail away, and he didn't come out until 86. But you never see him again.
Oh.
You don't see him again in season 3.
Really?
Could some of Reflector's parts have been there? Because there's one bot flying in the Attack on Autobot City that almost looks like it could be Reflector, and then you see one other part of Reflector, and I think it's Spyglass sitting at Starscream's coronation, but you only see one of them.
Right. Huh. I don't know. How are we going to get the answers to this?
Yeah, there's a few theories on it, a few working theories. I have another clip here, and I'm going to be honest, I don't remember what this clip is, so bear with me as we look at it. That's what it is. So Sunbow shows one of the sweeps getting taken out, and initially there's only 2 sweeps. So if one gets taken out, how do we wind up seeing this many later on? Damn it, wrong one. There were 6 sweeps there. So you see four flying, and then is at least 4, but it looked like it was 6 the way they did the animation. And then once the second clip that I played first, you see somebody that's already been turned into a sweep, and this is why I say I think those guys were the original Insecticons, and the clones survived.
Human germ.
You say human turd?
Human germ.
I thought he said that too.
He's not wrong.
Fucking shit stain. What? What did he say?
Hey, shit stain.
We exterminate him.
And in that scene, they show 4 that take out Ultra Magnus, and then holy shit, did they do a good job with the '86 version of Magnus in the newer line, where he breaks apart just like he did on screen.
Yeah. When I reviewed it, I didn't want to break it apart. I'm like the same line right now.
But that's one of the things. Even with the fuck ups that Sunbow had in this movie, there was some incredible monumental moments in this film.
Yeah, there was.
Like, as Trina's talking about, she felt that Prime didn't really get enough of a send-off. I replayed the whole section where he comes out and he pretty much bosses the rest of the Decepticons and takes them all out single-handedly. Like, that's some pretty amazing stuff.
Oh, yeah. That was really cool.
Yeah.
But talking about real quick to wrap up the stuff with the Insecticons, so we do see a couple on Cybertron during Starscream's coronation. We also see the reflector that I was talking about, and then we see another bot that suspiciously looks like Thundercracker. And if you notice, Skywarp as well.
Huh.
Did you notice that?
I think, they're just trying to fill in space from a distance. They didn't think people will notice.
Well, they knew about the Rainmakers because they had them in the earlier Sunbow cartoons. Like, why didn't they just use some of the Rainmakers?
Could be color palettes and stuff too, whatever they had that's, more available. I don't know. You never know. These companies are odd. They make very stupid and weird decisions.
So the last scene I'm going to show also leads into the Insecticon theory of the clones are still in Cybertron, because when Cyclonus lands, if you watch really careful by his wing, you're going to see an Insecticon roll out of the way, and that's one of the other Insecticons, and that's Kickback.
Oh, how did you slow it down like that?
I used my film editor.
Oh, okay.
You do some amazing stuff in the film editor.
Good stuff.
So, I mean, this definitely leads credence to the idea, I think, that you had the original Insecticons were turned into sweeps, and the clones were the ones on Cybertron. But once those clones are gone, I imagine that's it for them, because I'm pretty sure that they can't copy themselves.
Okay.
I mean, it's the multiplicity problem, you know?
Yeah.
A copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah. It's better than the original. No, it's not.
So, run down all the characters that, you know, I said died before the movie. Snarl, Jetfire. I think some of the ones that we never see on film at all. Sideswipe, Trax, Red Alert, Inferno, Grapple. Grapple we see in the film. I'm sorry. Hoist, rather. Hoist and Trailbreaker. We never see them either. So it could be speculated that they die before the film as well.
Oh, wow.
Because really, added that first 84 line, I'll give you the floor in a second. The only ones that we definitively see dead on film is we see Windcharger's body and we see Brawn get killed in the attack. We see Ironhide get taken out by Megatron. We see Ratchet and Prowl get taken out by the Constructicons. And we see Wheeljack's body laying on the ground next to Windcharger when RC is pulling Windcharger in. Those are the only ones we definitively see dead. We see Blue Streak in one scene. We see Hound in one scene. We see Sunstreaker as he's piloting the ship with Prime. None of those guys are ever seen again. They all die in the ground in the attack on Autobot City. Huffer was also on the ground, so he had to have died during that attack too. The Gears we never see, so Gears had to have died before the movie. And Mirage as well.
What did he die of?
He had to have been killed at some point. I think maybe Fauci got to him.
It was 1985, so it was AIDS.
I knew it.
Now, we do see Autobots running around inside the city, so maybe that could be some of the other ones.
Were they in Detroit? Could have been lead poisoning.
Oh, or they were eating Hershey products.
Oh, shit. Also true.
And the biggest one, Vinny, the biggest Transformer of all who doesn't show up and can be assumed as dead before the movie, Omega Supreme.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
But it is kind of like the way the chaos goes on. They're just like killing people willy-nilly in this. It is kind of similar to going back to talking about comics. It's kind of similar to Crisis on Infinite Earths because they didn't just kill some of the main characters like Flash and Supergirl. Like they were you couldn't even spot some of the people they were killing. And then you find out after the fact that this character died. It's crazy that they did that.
It is. It's nuts.
Hey, what up, Curtis?
Hope
that you were doing well. I see Curtis had dropped some links in there too. Thank you, Curtis. Always appreciate that. I know Decepticon was talking about Shin Godzilla. It's something I never watched. I've heard it was good. I just haven't been able to watch it. Isn't that Beast Wars in a 3D version? Beast Wars. I never watched all of Beast Wars. I was just never that into it. I just didn't really care for that animation style.
Yeah, the CG. Weird kind of CG shit.
Sundial's cocaine magic. The animation takes so long that it's understandable. Yeah, for the regular show, I understand that they were extremely rushed, and that's why they had so many screw-ups. But for this movie, that was all they were working on. There really is no excuse to make as many mistakes as they did in this.
Especially if you're releasing it in the fucking movie theater.
Open, damn it. Prime has the cocaine power. That's Trina's movie. That way he has like a slow, like junkie's death.
You got the cocaine. You got fake power.
After all, the coke is done.
Appreciate that, Curtis. Always appreciate you dropping those links, man. What's up, Tree Rock? Oh, holy shit! Oh, you should have heard some of the trash we were talking earlier. Jesus.
Yes,
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start calling Trina like fucking Tepis from now on.
No, that's not fair.
But
Look.
suits and bad decisions definitely is the product of cocaine. You definitely, cocaine is definitely involved somehow. It was the 80s.
Yeah. This is true.
Yeah, the Seeker jets. Yeah, freaking awesome. They were just repaints mostly, but they were still pretty cool. Yep. Prime must have inhaled a massive line of cocaine to take out as many Decepticons as he did in the beginning. And it explains why he got taken down, because the rush wore off before he could get a bump.
That's right.
It's kind of weird, Godzillionaire. Some of them almost look like it, but, it's kind of hard to tell. Because there's one that almost looks like Ironhide that drops into the stomach acid, but Ironhide is gone.
Mm-hmm.
He's long gone. So it's kind of hard to say. Believe me, I studied that thing over and over again because I thought I'd seen a few that looked like some of the Autobots and Decepticons, but yeah, it's really hard to tell.
Wasn't that the ongoing joke as well? The Ironhide just keeps dying and dying.
Pressuring me to release something. There's no pressure. That's Curtis just doing everybody a solid, man. Don't worry about it. Unicron killed Mirage. No, they never show him, though. Yeah, Mega Scream, yeah, but he's got to be dead. He has to be. That's why you never see him. And it's also speculated when Unicron crushes his hand down on Cybertron, that's when Shockwave bites the bullet. Because after this, you never see Shockwave again either.
Oh, wow.
Tree Rock, it was a number of years ago. They did re-releases of the Coneheads, and I got that triple pack. That was an awesome triple pack. But real quick, just for you, since you mentioned it, they did just do some re-releases, and they're doing them for the 86 movie. So you have Thundercracker, and he comes with a Megatron. All the re-releases come with a little mini Megatron. They also did Hound. And then they did this grouping of them. So you got Hot Rod, you got Starscream, Perceptor, and Kickback.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
So how many are you buying, Trina? Did the movie not sell you on the figures?
Oh, an off-screen death? Yeah, but that's the problem, though. It's not actually in the movie, and I know they actually had more treatment that they thought of doing for the movie, because there's supposed to be a whole scene when Devastator rips open the doors to Autobot City. They talked about they were going to have a fight scene with Ultra Magnus knocking Devastator apart. All that stuff. Even if they had ideas for it, because they never put it in the film, it never happens. You never see the characters on screen, so it's kind of one of those things. It's a very gray area. And an F-14 Tomcat Transformer, they did make one. So they had a Top Gun Transformer crossover. It was a few years back. I thought about it. They had it up on Pulse, but I just didn't feel like paying $44. Oh, Trina, what was Tommy talking about? It's Trina talking about making kids cry for 15 minutes. They're lying about me trying to ruin my good reputation. No, you said you want to see little kids crying for 15 minutes because Optimus Prime died too quickly. Trina's like, you know what? If I was around when they were doing this stuff, I would have talked to those people in the script room. And I would have told him, extend that death scene. Make it painful.
Yeah.
Put him in the hospital for 3 days and they come visit him It's getting worse every day they show up.
Then add a chick in it, make her gay. I said, put a chick in it and make it gay.
Yeah, they never show you exactly, but I'm assuming the way it looked like with his fusion cannon that he blew Ironhide's head off.
Oh, yeah, he's freaking gone. He never made it back in the cartoon series again either, right?
Nope. Yeah, 84 and 85 line completely gone, including all the mini bots. And the only ones that survived from the 84 that crossed over to 85 were Cliffjumper, Bumblebee, and Jazz.
That's crazy.
Technically, Starscream. Technically, he does appear in the 86 line. And here's a funny one for you. So they do show Dirge, Ramjet, and Thrust later on, but they die in this movie.
Huh.
And that's another screw up on the part of Sunbow. Now, because they weren't supposed to kill them off.
Mm-hmm.
Such heroic nonsense. That was a brutal scene. I don't remember if I got that clip or not, but yeah, there's a scene where Unicron actually, damn it, did I grab that scene or not? I'm not sure if I grabbed that scene, but there's a scene towards the end where Unicron opens his mouth up and you see Ramjet, Dirge, and Thrust go right in his mouth, and he swallows them.
Oh wow!
It's during the battle for Cybertron itself.
Okay.
I don't think I grabbed that clip. I looked at that clip and I thought of recording that clip, and I think I forgot to record the clip because I found something else. I was like, "Oh, that's really interesting."
Yeah. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I got distracted, and it wasn't for trying to kill Optimus Prime for 25 minutes. Yep, he eats them. I can't see Trina laughing at kids crying, but the idea is funny anyway. Hey, I wasn't the one that said it. She said it wasn't slow and painful enough.
Yeah.
Maybe not exactly like that, but
Why does the idea of her laughing at kids crying make me laugh? I would look at the same kid and not laugh at it, but then I would hear her laughing at it, and it would kind of make me crack up a little bit.
I don't know why.
Laughter is contagious.
It's the horror element of Trina. I could see her with her kids, yeah, they're all dead, every last one of them.
God, what the heck?
If she really wanted to rub it in, she'll fucking throw out her son's Optimus Prime. He's dead now.
And we're going to drag it out. It's going to be a 45-minute death scene.
And then we're going to bring it back with the Necronomicon, and we're going to have somebody chop him up into pieces.
Okay, that's actually awesome.
Optimus Prime is a deadite.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's a good question.
There is no right answer.
Mm-mm.
And I can explain. So if you transform a transformer the correct way and you're not overly brutal with it, you could transform them indefinitely. Problem is with certain toys, especially Optimus Prime, everybody just grabbed the legs on him and just swung them out. You're actually supposed to pull them out sideways and then pull them up because they got these little pointed gear ratcheting teeth in there. And if you just grab them and slide them up along those, you're wearing them out because they're plastic. Because his legs are all plastic, and the only thing that's metal on him is his toes and his chest compartment that pops out on the cab. That's the only thing that's metal. I got into that conversation with somebody on Twitter, and they were saying, "Oh, Prime was the most metal ever." No, actually, if you look at the Transformers G1, Jazz actually had the most metal out of those bots. Because his whole chest was metal, Almost the whole bottom or back end of his car form was metal. So he had a lot more metal in him than Optimus Prime did, which is kind of crazy to think about because Optimus Prime feels pretty hefty, but there's a lot of plastic on that figure too.
Yeah.
And it's one of the larger ones. You had Deadite Prime, Necronomicon. Is that like a transforming book? Yeah, who's ready to watch Evil Dead Transformers? And then they could bring in the Ghostbuster Transformer crossover and put them down.
Yep. You
Mhm.
betcha. So, hey, Tommy, I just wanted to say thank you. This has been a blast. I got to get heading on out. Mr. Etep Wakulin's about to do a WrestleMania 3 watch party.
Yep. No problem, Adam. Have a good one. I'm glad you
I'm so glad that you did this, man. And Trina, it was awesome that this was your first time and you did it. You shared it with us. So thank you for that.
Yeah, same. It was awesome watching it with you guys as well.
This has been a blast. Slasher, always fun. And Vinny, it was fun to hear you smile and giggle a little bit, brother.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. Yeah. I should be popping over there too in a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I'll see you over there.
All right, gentlemen and ladies. I thank you so much. And as always, it's always fun. Nibble, my brother Nibbler. You take care. Everybody have a Merry Pigmas.
Merry Christmas.
You have a Merry
Christmas,
Pigmas too. Somebody can drop the link for ETEP's show for when he goes live with the wrestling, so you could swing on by after we get done. We're getting close to the end anyway. And Adam, thank you again, sir.
Yes, brother. Thank you very much.
All right, man. You have a good one. What's up, Snow Dub, man? Good to see you. Yeah, Soul Assassin, the old school Transformers were made to last, unlike some of the modern day versions. You know what? They are getting better with some of them. Some of them are really solid. Matter of fact, Vinny just did a review on the Stranger Things Transformers crossover, and it was pretty solid. I did a review on a Ratchet figure from the '86 movie, one of the newer ones, and that one was pretty hefty, and it felt very solid too. So they're doing a much better job right now with them, but it's just a shame that they're screwing everything else so bad that who knows if they're going to be in business a few years from now the way they're going.
Probably not. Oh, I gotta show you a massive mess up on a tour review. That was something I found for half price because of the holidays, and I go to open up the figure, and it's a completely different figure. And mind you, it was factory sealed.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep, that's another major issue for those not having a window. Just having this really shitty concept artwork or something on the front of it. Yeah, amazing stuff.
Yeah, guys, if you head on over there, let them know that it's a pig raid, that we're sending peeps over there. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Thank you also to Curtis for dropping that link as well. Guys, be sure to stop by. He's good. I don't know which old one. Is it WCW or old WWE?
WrestleMania 3.
WrestleMania 3?
Yeah.
Nice.
Andre vs. Hogan.
I don't know. If I think I could swing it, I'll try to stop over. Hey, what up, Lurch? Good to see you, man. Merry Pigmas.
What up?
Oh, yeah. Once again, guys, in case you didn't know, if you're interested in some of the older toys, guys, see some of the guys talking about it. I showed it off a little earlier. Yeah, they are doing it for the '86 movie now. They're re-releasing some of the older figures. So they've got a few of them out, and no doubt that there's going to be more to come because when they're doing these re-releases, they usually fly off the shelves fairly damn quick.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think I've only seen them in a store once. But I already have them all. I really don't need another copy of all of them. So,
Right.
Even though I don't like the closed the no window boxes, that's nice artwork on those boxes.
Oh, yeah. You know what though? I mean, here's the thing with the artwork on the ones they're doing right now for this. I mean, Thundercracker shows it off really well. Like everything they do on the back end, even with the freaking stats and the full bio on the back.
Yeah. But something like this is a little bit different than like the Joes. Because this is, I mean, they've always done something that's kind of cool like this, where it is very much reminiscent of the cartoon. The Joes have been a little bit different. And sometimes you'll have like really shitty concept artwork or almost like comic book styles that like don't match up, like Zorana. Like her packaging was horrible compared to the other characters and stuff. Like they didn't just hire one similar artist to do them, or like the promos in the first ones. Like on the back, you had that awesome fighting scene, that whole battle. They didn't do that. They went cheaper. And yeah, I don't know. Feels like their hearts aren't in certain things. But I don't know. Something like the Transformers, I think they have to be more precise. It's a more expensive figure to make.
Mm-hmm.
Or line.
I mean, the only reason I would even consider getting some of these, because like the Thundercracker one, he's definitely a lot lighter of a blue than the original figure. And even the re-release is much darker than this because it's more akin to the original G1. So my problem, though, is if I start getting these and there's enough color variations, I might want to buy the whole line. And, you know, I'm already broke as it is.
Yep.
The pigs, well, it's not even the pigs. It's Bidenomics. I mean, let's be honest. Bidenomics is doing to us what Trina would like to do to the death scene of Optimus Prime and extend it forever.
Well, that scene won't put you in concentration camps and make you eat the bugs.
It'll just make you feel like you're in one.
Yeah.
But yeah, does anybody else have some last thoughts? I want to get one more last thought from Trina since this is the first time seeing it. I know you said you didn't have the attachment to, like, say I would with some of these characters, or maybe even with Slasher, because he knew of some of these characters. Maybe he didn't watch all the episodes religiously and read all the comics like I did and everything, but he knew enough about these characters. There was enough of it, like, oh wow, the death of Optimus Prime was pretty grim. I would like to get your last thoughts on this movie.
Yeah, last thoughts are, like, I think overall, I liked it. It was a good movie, I think. I'm looking at it as an adult, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, I feel like Optimus's death should have had more weight. But then again, like you brought up, this was back in '87, and this was, solely for little kids. So I get, you got to think of it that way. So it does change my perspective. So and then like when you showed the clip of him, he had a triumphant return. I do feel like that was well done. There was a lot actually that was good in this movie. It is, in my opinion, I thought Unicron was amazing. I mean, the voice was just, it made it really. Yeah, I'm glad I saw it. This was fun.
No, I'm glad you enjoy it. I mean, I really hope that you give a second chance to some of the other episodes. Like, I think maybe if you get into it a little bit more and watch some of the other ones, maybe seeing like what goes on in this movie, it'll seem probably a little bit more impactful.
Yeah.
Just because they survived in the cartoon through multiple freaking seasons, and then all of a sudden, wow, they're all dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine how that would be really, really hard for the kids, and it makes sense that the parents were really upset about it. Like I said earlier, I am not surprised that this was a flop because of that.
It definitely hurt a lot of kids, kids, and a lot of mothers. Angry soccer moms were up in arms about it. So,
yep.
Appreciate that. I see Adam jump back in and into the chat, and he posted ETEP's link again. Sweet. I'm probably going to be heading over there in a few minutes. Slasher, give us your final take on this movie, and then Trina, you're not coming back until after the first, right?
Yeah, I'll be probably the second week in January. We'll resume the movies. Not sure if it'll be a watch party or a review, but we'll get that straightened out. And yeah, we'll be back.
Awesome, guys! If you ain't sub, be sure to sub, and be sure to check out those horror reviews and her figure reviews as well, because she's going to have another one coming up very soon.
Yes, I will. Thank you, Tommy.
No, it was my pleasure. the pigs always remember when people do stuff for us. And I know there's a few people in the chat. I haven't forgotten what you guys did years ago. I haven't forgotten that shit. Pig has got a very long memory. I'm like an elephant. I never forget. I'm going to remember that shit, and I will be doing stuff for everybody. I mean, it's just been so rough. Like every month is just like a freaking chore to try to get through the month anymore.
Yeah.
Decepticons at 971, guys. If you can, yeah, share your link out there. Let people check you out. Stop by, and it doesn't cost nothing to sub. Check out some of the content. I mean, I always say if you like what they're doing, yeah, be sure that you're subbed and stopping by and checking out some of the content every single time. But Slasher, go ahead, man.
No. Like I said, I didn't see this when I was young. I was probably in my 20s first time I saw this, and I enjoyed the movie more than I enjoyed the weekly episodes. It was kind of the same thing with the G.I. Joe movie. I enjoyed the cartoon movie more than I enjoyed the weekly cartoon.
This I command.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But like I said, not a huge Transformers guy, but I dig this movie. I like it better than the Shia LaBeouf garbage.
As you should.
Yeah.
Tommy, you still there?
I think the movie, those movies were so fucking horrible. I mean, the one shining light in those freaking live action movies is that they did bring Peter Cullen in to do work, and they even brought Frank Welker in, even though Megatron sounded like shit in that.
The first one wasn't Welker. Welker did voices to other characters. The first one was actually Hugo Weaving for Megatron.
Wow.
Yep. He's the one that, for some reason, they already signed them, so they couldn't back out. But yeah, Peter Cullen, people were like, no, if he ain't in it, we ain't watching it. So God bless the fans.
Do you know who else Peter did?
He did a number of them.
Well, there was two main characters in Transformers he did.
Wasn't Soundwave one of them?
No.
No?
Think about somebody who's pretty stalwart, one of the tougher Autobots.
Ironhide?
Yep.
Okay. I thought he did Soundwave too. He did?
No.
Huh. Interesting.
They were a disappointment. I felt they were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell Japan that inflation is transitory. Yeah, right. But Slasher, when you having your next movie review?
I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling this weekend.
I know we've all been in it, man. We've all been in it. I don't. There hasn't been a freaking a completely healthy person on this panel tonight.
Nope.
I mean, really.
Well, unless I get some sort of cybernetic spinal implant, I'm never going to be healthy. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. Here's one thing that you can absolutely take to the bank. No matter how much we're suffering, Trina would like to see us suffer more.
No, I'm not. I'm not 12 years old.
Oh, Jesus. Guys, be sure to stop by for Slasher streams on Saturday when we do the movie reviews. And once again, I'm going to remind you, because it wasn't all that long ago, at least for me, in memories, because it was only last month, is that was pretty much started because of JJ. So carrying on the legacy, JJ left Slasher right in his hands. And he's extending the suffering for all of us in honor of Trina now. So this is never going to end. This is better than the Vaseline one. This is great.
Oh, Tommy, you missed it when we watched Starcade '86 on ETEP's channel last week.
Yeah, I couldn't.
And there was a match with Dusty Rhodes. I'm not dead serious. I'm not kidding. It involved Vaseline.
Vaseline, baby. Oh Jesus. I'm gonna let Vinny go in a second, but I want to read this. This is Jesus. I'm pretty sure that this one can be considered a drive-by comment.
What car is that coming up? Creepy. Drive-by!
So Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collector. Trina would have liked Optimus slowly cut up with an angle grinder. I don't know if that's slow enough for Trina. Like, she's talking about like real suffering. Like maybe a plasma torch too to like sizzle some of his circuits. That might have done it.
You guys suck. You're lucky I love you though.
This is not my fault. You brought this out. Tree Rock says Slasher. I saw 3 o'clock high and liked it. Yeah. I love that movie too. Matter of fact, that is one of my little gifts up on my channel.
Don't fuck this up, Mitchell!
Maybe one week and I'll do that movie.
Such a fun movie.
Yeah.
No Vaseline for your suffering. You'll take it dry and forcefully. Oh, Jesus. Guys, don't forget to check out that art book. And Vinny, go ahead, man. Talk about it. Talk about the movie, and then be sure to talk about your art book as well, man.
Yeah, this movie was, I mean, again, great animation. Pretty cool what they had done, aside from all the deaths, the horrible, horrible, horrible deaths. But I don't know. Even Starscream, as a kid, Starscream was one of my favorite villains because he was such a dick. But to see how he treated Megatron, that Megatron would always treat him like shit, and he's like, "No, I'm taking over. I'm finally gonna do it." And then he labeled himself as basically the king of the Decepticons. Like, that shit always cracked me up. And then how easily he was dispatched. One blast, boom, gone. Yeah, it's. I got to give it to them for that. Yeah, there was a lot of crazy shit, but there was cool stuff too. I always like Ultra Magnus, so seeing that they brought him back was really cool. I'm like, why?
I think the choice of Robert Stack for his voice was just spot on.
Oh yeah, he did a great
I also
job.
gotta agree with you, Vinny. Starscream is so fucking entertaining. He's such a fucking entertaining character.
And it's again, it's freaking Cobra Commander.
Chris
so,
Latta.
Yeah, that guy did such a great job, and it's funny because his voice really was nothing like that. So for him to do that, my hat goes off to him.
You still gotta rewatch Roadhouse to watch his scene.
Yeah, I seen the photos, but yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen the movie. Pretty amazing stuff. But yeah, like I said, I always like Ultra Magnus. I liked that they brought him back, but as a kid, I'm like, how come they couldn't do that with Optimus? Like, I was so pissed. Just bring him there. But yeah, well, we got him to return anyway, which was what they had to do. But yeah, like I said, it was a blast watching with all you guys. That's for sure. And happy that Trina got to see it. I really wanted her to watch the G.I. Joe movie as well. I want to get her take on that one because there was some crazy shit in there, and those characters, I think, because they're more human characters. She might connect with some of them a little bit better too. You don't necessarily have to watch all those episodes.
If we do that, we definitely have to get the one that's the unedited version. Get
the
original.
That way, she'll be happy with the deaths that stay. You know, those characters stay dead.
Let's do it. Sounds good.
That'd be cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. Please don't forget. I only have 27 days left on the art book campaign. There's been like no movement lately, so if you guys want to help out, and granted, I haven't really been pushing hard either. I've been going through a bunch of other personal stuff. But yeah, this is campaign number 7. Jump on it now. If you think I'm going to keep this open for a long time, you're wrong. I might keep it open for a month after, and then I'll be closing out the whole thing. So yeah, we have 27 days left here. It'll be in demand for a very tiny, short amount of time, and then that's it. Yeah, sadly, art books don't do so well. Plus, this economy killed everything. So yeah, right now I got to do other work and stuff while I'm also working on City Venus 2. There is a preview of that in here. But yeah, the book is done. So if you're sitting on the fence, like, oh, I don't know if I should back a book that's gonna, take me 5 years in order to get, or if you put money down now, you'd be like, oh, I get my book in what? As soon as it's done and he gets his money, we go straight to print. Oh yeah, sign me up for Vinny's book. This is the one to do it. And yay, quality. Plus, I also have original artwork. I got those tiers available, so jump on this one too. It's when they're gone, they're gone. So we also do have a couple copies left of Volume 1 and 2. These are, I think there's about 19 sets left. So if you want that, that's also up here. It's the second tier. So jump on that one. And of course, we have books that actually ship tomorrow, So if you want City of Venus, Through the Woods, or Shadow of the Kraken, jump on all that. I'm still surprising people. If somebody reposts my stuff, he's like, wow, you and your team did a great job. I'm like, it's just me. I'm an army of one here. So yeah, if you love high quality stuff and amazing stories, please jump on this stuff. Keep me doing it, because otherwise I can't. I thank everyone for the support you guys have been giving me, but it's a crazy time for everyone right now. So and if you can't support it, at least please grab it, get it out there on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. Just whatever help would be great. On Twitter, if you click over there, I do have my link tree, so everything's underneath there. You can find all my stuff, the campaigns, the YouTube channels, the Rumble channel, all that great stuff. In fact, I'll put that in the chat as well. Link tree is right here. So jump on all that great stuff. Tommy, Trina, Slasher. This was a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny, it was good to hear you laugh and giggle a little bit. I know things have been rough lately.
Yeah,
it's just been a shitty year overall for, I think, just about everybody.
Oh yeah,
I don't know anybody. Yeah, I don't know anybody that hasn't been touched by this shit over the past few years. It's been collectively fucking horrible.
Oh yeah.
Since the zero of this decade, it's been the worst decade that I've lived through so far.
Yep, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
And Disney certainly hasn't helped it, Chaos. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
But guys, thank you so much for hanging out, watching this, and having, I think, a pretty good conversation. I think we touched on a lot of subjects too that maybe some people weren't expecting me to go into.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to delve a little bit deeper into some of the whys. I mean, I've talked about the whys before, but which characters actually perished and which ones we completely just forgot about. Like bringing up Omega Supreme, like where's Omega Supreme at?
Mm-hmm.
He should have been there.
Yeah.
But I think this was a lot of fun. Guys, if you want, this movie is available on YouTube from what I understand. Let me see if I can find that link.
You don't have to pay for it, right?
Yeah, it's just right on YouTube. So
cool.
Here, I'm gonna post it in the comment section. So if you guys want to watch it later, or if you want to watch it after we're done here, that's on you. If you can, though, stop by for ETEP. Let them know there's a pig invasion going on this channel, and stop by at least for a little while and say hi. We really would appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you who've been hanging out in the chat with us, that have been participating and giving us your thoughts as well. And I really do hope that you all have an incredible Christmas, a very happy New Year. I will be taking a bit of a break. We're going to do the toy stream on Thursday. I'm assuming we're going to do a shorter one, Vinny.
I don't know yet.
I was just assuming we were probably going to do a shorter one. The only reason I'm even going to do the toy stream on Thursday is because I do have a couple of Christmas themed figures that I've been sitting on for like a year, and I want to get them filmed. And I just want to show all. I really don't want to wait another year to show these ones off, because next year something else is going to come out. It's Christmas themed, and I'm going to want to show that off. So I just want to get it out of the way. After that, I will definitely be taking a break. I'll probably show up for, if Slasher's having the movie stream or when he has the next movie stream, I'll be there for that. But as far as stuff on my channel, I'm going to be focusing on a few more videos for the next week and a half or so. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to start working on that. And then, the first of the year, I'll come back with some regular Tuesday streams again. But it definitely, everybody needs that moment to actually kind of kick back and rewind and unwind and kind of get ready for the next round of what am I going to do next? Because really, it does come down to that a lot of times. Like, what do you want to do next? What do you want to talk about next? I don't like rehashing the same subjects way too many times. Transformers 86 movie, I've done a few times, and that's only because it's one of those franchises that really do resonate with me very strongly, and it really does piss me off some of the shit that Hasbro's been doing, trying to kill everything. Because if this franchise goes down and some garbage tier company picks it up and starts making trash, I'm going to get really pissed. God help any of those old Hasbro executives and CEOs if I find them walking around the street. Prime's death will look like kindergarten shit. Just saying. That's that slow and painful stuff, and Trina will be there to help me and instruct me how slow and painful it needs to be.
Damn right.
Dead bro. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, guys. Thank you all for being here. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not think, because your silence, your compliance gives consent. And we will catch you next time. And we're going to go out on something Transformers later, y'all.